package of horse fodder. Begone, you overexcited slot machine! Oh! He bit my paw! Oh!
Hello, I'm Chance.
Hello, I'm Sergio.
And welcome to Brick Wall Cinema. Today we're talking about The Wiz in honor of Wicked coming out. Now, Sergio, you've never seen The Wiz, have you?
No, not fully. There have been a few times when people were playing it in like class, but I never got to see the whole thing.
All right, let's go into our first impressions and you tell us all about your first experience watching The Wiz.
I was confused.
With what?
Well, the songs are catchy, but the way they sung them, I kind of lost track of what was happening. Like at the beginning, they were singing this song about the Wiz, and I was like, wait, I forgot what they're talking about again. And then it's not until they said that they're talking about the Wiz that I actually realized they're actually singing about the Wiz again. A lot of those sequences for the songs are actually pretty long. I did not expect them to be this long.
Well, you know this is actually based off a Broadway play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna have long songs.
No, I know, but it feels more like a play rather than an actual movie.
I think we're both thinking the same thing when we talk about this, because I had the same thought watching it too. Because the way they shot some scenes and some of the songs, it felt odd.
Yeah, like the scene where Michael Jackson the Scarecrow and the crows were like doing their number. When all the crows got in front of him and started dancing, it goes into a side angle, which doesn't make sense because the whole point of them getting in front of him to dance is so they can have a front view of them dancing, but it's off to the side.
Yeah, I was mainly thinking of, I don't want to get into it yet because I want to have some notes about this, like how they shot everything.
Mm-hmm.
What were your feelings on the first time watching this?
To be honest, it felt like it was trying to do the same thing that the Wizard of Oz did, but some of the plot points and some of the pacing just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I agree with you on some of the stuff, Sergio. Like the way they structured how things happen in the movie, it felt kind of like last minute additions, or they think that they forgot about. There's an instance in the movie where I thought, okay, we're wrapping up. This movie's gonna be over. It was when all the gang were about to meet the Wiz for the first time. I thought that at that point they were gonna see that he was a phony and stuff, and then go home and everything. But then I realized, oh wait, we got an hour left in the movie. Oh, okay. So we're gonna. So that he's like, go deal with the Wicked Witch of the West. Go deal with that, or was it East?
I don't know. I'm not really sure it matters.
Yeah, but okay. I'll go into my first impressions then. This is my first introduction to the Wizard of Oz.
Did this come out before or after The Wizard of Oz?
This came out way after, like 40 years after.
Oh, that makes so much sense. But at the same time, it doesn't.
This came out in 1978.
No, I mean, like, because of what you see that's happening and how much inspiration they took from it, I was thinking, like, maybe it would take place sooner, or maybe, like, this would have happened, like, their first iteration of trying to, like, introduce, like, trying to be, like, diverse or something like that. Because a lot of this stuff is specific to African Americans, I see.
It's an all African American cast on screen, but behind the screen, it's almost all white.
Yeah. What's the lesson of this movie? Is it about like her like learning to live on her own or something like that?
I think the lesson is don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone, because we find out that at the beginning that she's 24 years old and is a kindergarten teacher that never left her street.
Is there a problem with that?
I'm gonna say there's a problem, but even in the beginning of the movie, there's also a small hint that their parents, like their auntie, Aunt M, is trying to set her up with someone. So maybe like she's all alone, takes care of her dog, and never left the street.
Does that mean she has like social anxiety or something like that?
Probably.
I mean, because like if that was the thing, then there should be ways that she could actually deal with that, but she doesn't seem to do that in this movie. It's more like she just helps other people do that by treating them like how she would like a kindergartner, help them like deal with their issues.
I kind of like that aspect of it though.
No, I know, but it doesn't seem to fit the fact that she's trying to figure out herself too when she's like has social anxiety or something like that.
So you're saying that she should have had the qualities of a kindergarten teacher, or focus on her being like a social anxiety, like having like, trouble leaving her comfort zone, and shouldn't have both of them?
No, I'm not saying she can't have both of them. I'm saying they seem to contradict each other.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the cast for a minute, all right, Sergio?
Okay.
What do you think of the cast of people we have here as Dorothy, Scarecrow, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion?
Do you mean like the characters or the actors?
Both the characters. Let's talk about the characters.
Okay, so their goals. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this obvious, but it feels like they've already accomplished their goals at the beginning of the movie or even at their introduction. So I don't see the point of them actually going on this journey.
Well, that's the same thing for from the original movie.
Well, yeah, but they show why it is and they sing about why it is they want that and why they believe they don't have it. In this one, like the Scarecrow, he's really well read and he knows a lot of stuff and he has great ideas. So it makes me think, why doesn't he think he has a brain?
Because he doesn't have a brain.
Well, yeah, but just because you don't have a brain doesn't mean that you don't.
Don't have a brain? What were you gonna say?
Just because you don't have a brain doesn't mean you're not smart.
Sergio, that complaint can literally be said for every other iteration of The Wizard of Oz.
Yes. In the original one I saw, it's because he doesn't know which way to go when Dorothy asks him for help, and he doesn't think that he can't scare away a crow, so he thinks that he's just a dummy. In this one, he just gets bullied by the crows, and then reads all the paper that's inside him.
Well, he was dumb enough to not know that he can literally just fall off the pole.
He didn't fall off the pole though. He needed help to get off the pole.
He didn't know that the only thing that was stopping him from leaving the pole was himself.
That's the whole point of what he represents.
Yeah, Sergio, you're complaining. I'm confused right now.
I'm saying that every character already has the qualities that they're looking for, and it's made abundantly obvious that they have that.
That's the point of The Wizard of Oz. He had it on the whole time. Dorothy had the shoes on the whole time. Could have gone home the whole time. Tin Men always had a heart. It just was shown more throughout the journey. You know what? Okay, you're right on some things here. The character journeys, they are really fast. And I just realized I don't have an end to the sentence.
That's kind of the problem I had when I was trying to follow them. Okay, so the Scarecrow, when he's first introduced, he's being seen as like he's letting these terrible things that the crows say to him get to him. But then as soon as he's let down, he has great ideas, and he's already using his brain, and he has great ideas, and he knows all about these in his philosophy, and he reads them all throughout the journey. And then the Tin Man, we can see him crying, which shows that he can feel. And then the lion, as soon as he gets out of the statue and they get ambushed in the subway, he lets go of his fear and fights off all the people that are all the things that are attacking them. And I'm like, that was quick. I get that the whole point of this is so then that they realize that, but it was all done very, very quickly. And I was taken aback by that.
Maybe that's why I thought this movie was ending a lot sooner than I thought it was.
Yeah. I mean, like, I remember in the original Wizard of Oz movie, the Cowardly Lion, he doesn't get brave until like way later. They don't do any of this stuff until like way later. And the Wizard of Oz is the person that gives them the confidence or shows them that they've had it this entire time. And in this one, they just realize it. They just do it on their own. So I guess I was kind of confused on why it is they were going to the Oz in the first place, because Dorothy seems to be doing that part where the Wizard of Oz is supposed to help them realize that. Whereas Dorothy already does that.
You hear that, Sergio?
Hear what?
That's the sound of you ruining my experience of this movie.
Oh, okay. I think it might have been better if Dorothy actually encouraged them before they actually did any of that. She did that with the Scarecrow. I don't know if she did that for the Tin Man in any way.
She did, kinda, I believe.
One thing I do think that would have been done better is if they showed like if they actually had the scene where they fell asleep from that substance. I don't know what it was. Those girls that were putting puff in their face and they fell asleep. They had that before the subway scene.
Oh, the poppy seed one?
Yeah, because then after that, when they wake up, the lion gets all depressed about like how it is he can't do anything right, and then Dorothy sings to him that comforts him and gives him back his courage. And I was thinking like, wouldn't that have been better if she had done that before the subway scene?
Probably. Actually, you're right. Structurally, that would make more sense, because then they can use the subway scene to. Wait, no,
they could use the subway scene to show like how much the lion is growing from being around Dorothy, and
that's
how
what
she
they used. That's what they did.
Yeah, but just because they just met the lion and they started singing a song about heading down the road, I think.
Easing on down the road.
Down the road. Okay, thank you. And then he runs away from all the things that are attacking them, as you would expect from the Cowardly Lion. And then he hears them asking for help after they get trapped by the gate, and he runs back and fights them off. they get separated and he fights off pretty much everything that they are going up against. And I'm like, well, that was quick.
It's funny, for a 2.5 hour movie, it really flies by, huh?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say fly by
It
because
takes so things they go. You're right. I should rephrase this. It for a 2.5 hour movie, it does rush things that we already know, but also takes its time for things that are like a lot of random things.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, what if, what if? This is a bad joke. What if when Diddy went to jail, everyone started singing the song to him in jail, like all the prisoners?
Slide some oil to me. Let it trickle down my spine.
Slide some oil to me. Oh, this is a terrible joke. I'm gonna take this out. Let me lubricate my mind. Oh God, I didn't have to ruin it. I'm sorry. Well, no, I think this is a way to ease into the next category. Get it?
Yeah.
Favorite songs. What was your favorite song, Sergio?
I couldn't actually keep track with most of the songs because, as you said before, this is based off the Broadway play. So the whole point of them having their songs is to keep the music going, is to keep the story going. So I kind of got confused on when when the song ended or not. I think the one I like the most, it's just there was one. I think the most I just remember right now is just Ease On Down the Road.
Really?
Yeah.
My favorite song, I think it has to be Ease On Down the Road or You Can't Win, because one, it's a crime that Michael Jackson only has one song in the whole movie by himself, like one solo song. But to be fair, this is before his first solo album, Off the Wall, came out. So putting you in the head of when this movie came out, we got one of the kids from the Jackson 5 in this movie. That's mainly how people see him.
Okay.
And actually, fun fact, you know Quincy Jones, right?
Quincy Jones, yes.
Yeah, he composed the songs.
Wait, didn't he pass away?
Yeah, he just passed away as we record this.
Okay.
He's a legend.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and he arranged and composed the songs for the movie. And so this is his first time working with Michael Jackson, and he loved him so much on set that he agreed to do the Off the Wall and Thriller with him. So without the Wiz, we would never have Thriller or Off the Wall or Michael Jackson as we know him now.
Interesting.
Yeah. So people that don't know what the hell the Wiz is, it's probably a big factor in why you love Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And also, he did really good as a scarecrow in the movie too.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like the characters really did the actors did really good job trying to portray what they were given. I'm not gonna fault them for that. But oh wait, no, that was about it. Yeah. You can tell a lot of I lost my train of thought for a second, sorry.
I'm sorry. No, it's like you just like, yeah, they really do know what they're doing. What were you saying, Sergio?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Oh my God. My other song. Huh?
When I was watching this movie, I kind of lost track of what it is I was thinking about. And then when it's like reading a book and then you realize you weren't paying attention to what you were reading, so you go back. That's the feeling I got from watching this movie.
Yeah, this movie, I know how much I love it, but this movie feels like a fever dream to me.
I think it is.
Yeah, but in a good way. Kind of like how the 2000s Grinch movie came out, like the one with Jim Carrey.
The what?
The 2000s Grinch movie.
Scrooge?
No, the Grinch.
Oh, the Grinch. I was Scrinch. I was like, what?
Scrinch? No. But I'm saying like that movie always felt like a fever dream to me too. Because like how bizarre it looked. But with this one, I really like it because of how weird it looks. Because originally in the Broadway play, it didn't take place in Harlem. It took place back on the farm. So when they made this movie, they had to replicate Oz like it would be New York. So I love all the attention to detail and set design where they made it look like it's actually a remodified version of New York. Even going to like iconic places like where they meet the Tin Man is at Coney Island. When they meet the Lion, it's over at the public library.
Why is he at the library?
He got banished.
To the library?
Well, not to the library specifically, Sergio, from his pack.
You mean his pride?
His pride, yes.
Hmm.
Remember, because he said it was they found he was a coward, so they banished him.
No, I remember that. I know why he's banished. I just wondered why he was banished specifically there. Because to me, it didn't make sense that he just came out of a statue.
Well, he likes scaring people, so he just waits in that statue until someone comes by, hoping that they'll wonder if those eyes are moving.
Makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense, Sergio. Don't question it. You're asking why a lion came out of a statue. Don't question this, Sergio. Also, I do love his song too, because the whole time saying how much of a badass he is. Like, don't with me, because I will you right back. And then next thing you know, the Toto comes over and he's like, he bit me. That hurt. And starts crying. What do you think of the lion, Sergio?
I liked this character a lot more than the other characters. Like, as soon as he came on, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I like that they showed him actually progressing in his story, because like I remember in the original Wizard of Oz, he's just a coward throughout, even though he stands up to like the witch. But in this one, they actually show him actually acting like a lion and fighting back as a lion would. So I was like, that's interesting. But then it showed like that whole poppy flower scene, and I was like, okay, is it going back now?
Yeah, that was a weird turn where he actually thought of killing himself. I thought that was really weird. I understand why, but it just came out of nowhere. Like, you're not here? Oh, I gotta end it all. And I was like, no. And I love also how he uses his tail like a stick or like I don't know, like a little whip.
I just thought it was the same thing like the original lion from the original Wizard of Oz, that he just always had it in his hand, fiddling with it whenever he was scared. I thought it was something like that.
Oh, so let's go into our favorite scenes. What was your favorite scene, Sergio?
Probably when they're being chased by the flying monkeys.
Really?
Or yeah, I just like the whole scene where there's these guys in a motorcycle just chasing these people. It kind of reminded me of Terminator 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking, and throughout the entire movie, I was thinking she can really run in heels.
Diana Ross?
Yeah, because she's wearing heels the entire time. That's what those slippers are. And she's running like she has sneakers on.
Yeah, you know who else was running in high heels the whole movie?
Who?
The lion.
He was running in heels?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I think to balance his suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just noticed when he fell over. That's why. For my favorite scene, we're sort of in the same ballpark here. My favorite scene was like the whole time they were in Evelyn's sweatshop, because Evelyn was having such a fun time on set. Like, you can clearly tell. And the fact that like the way she dies in this movie, I am a fan of how the original Wicked Witch dies, like her like just melting. But in this one, not only does she melt, but she gets flushed down the toilet.
Why is there a toilet in the middle of the factory?
Because they're in the sewer.
Oh, right. Also, I was questioning that, like, why it is there was a fire thing in the room where she stays.
Because the
even though she's allergic to water, apparently.
Because of the factory.
No, I know, but she's supposed to be evil, so why would she care whether or not there's a fire?
She might be evil, but she doesn't want to break the law.
She is breaking the law.
How?
She doesn't give them lunch breaks, and also she makes them work for pennies.
Well, if anything catches on fire, Sergio, what are they going to do?
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. They don't care about that. That's the whole point of a sweatshop. They don't care about the employees.
But they care about the product. So if the product burns, they're going to need a way to put it out.
That would require them actually putting money into the place.
Sergio, you're thinking way too hard about this.
It's a sweatshop.
Yeah, it's a sweatshop in New York.
New York had sweatshops?
I bet in the 70s.
In the 70s?
This movie takes place in the 70s.
Oh, okay. It's because like all the sweatshops I know have either been in places where they actually underpay their employees, like in China. So when I first saw the sweatshop, I immediately thought like, wait, aren't these things supposed to be in China?
Well, there's more places that have sweatshops, not only China.
I guess so, but China's usually where we get our stuff from. That's what I thought about it.
All right. Let's go to our favorite quotes. Do you have any, Sergio?
I'm trying to think of one. I can't think of it right now. What about you?
I got two. One is when the crows were talking to the scarecrow saying,
"Walk, you can't walk."
Why, you just a straw paper dummy.
And the other one was when Oz was talking to the lion saying,
And what do you want, you overstuffed animal cracker?
I want to get the hell out of here.
all right, let's go to our notes. So I have some things I want to ask you because because when I saw this movie, I thought Sergio was going to have a bunch of questions.
Go ahead.
So first one is, did you understand why the cabs weren't picking up Dorothy and the crew in Oz?
Why they weren't?
Yeah.
Wasn't that just like a play on the fact that back in the day, people were kind of treated as second-class citizens?
Yeah, honestly, Sergio, good job. I actually didn't think you knew that. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that also because like I've seen that reference in a bunch of different ways. Like, do you remember like the Happy Time murders?
Yeah.
I remember in some of the first scenes of the movie, there's a puppet who tries to get into a cab, but then a guy who looks exactly like the puppet just pushes it away and gets in the cab instead. And I was like, that's a lot like racism. And I'm like, wait, that's supposed to be racist, right?
Yeah, but I don't see how that works in a world where everyone's black.
Does that mean like the taxi drivers are just lazy?
Yeah. Also, you notice how every time they're saying like they're about to meet another person to go somewhere, there's more and more cabs. Like every one of them could have their own cab, but every single one of them leaves exactly once they walk by it. When she first lands in Oz, she meets has a song and everything. It's like, all right, just follow the yellow brick road. They look at the cab and it just drives away. One cab.
Wait, why did she say a yellow brick road if they're going to a cab?
What do you mean?
Why does she say the yellow brick road if they're going to a cab? Because it sounds like they're trying to follow a road, but they're just trying to get into a cab.
Well, clearly there's a road, and clearly if it's in New York, a New York type place, there would be cars.
There's no yellow brick.
Well, it's on the car. The cars are yellow, like the taxi. Get it? Because the cabs are yellow, like the bricks on the road. I'm guessing that's what their thought process was.
I guess so, but it feels like a stretch.
Not really, because they even mad out the I don't know. Okay.
Okay, Chance. Whenever you say I don't know, about something you're trying to prove, I always say it's a stretch because it feels hard to explain.
Well, I explained it to you, but you said that seems like it's a stretch. So if I do explain it, then you still think it's a stretch.
But you're saying that the cabs are the bricks of the road. Was that what you were saying? Or did I get mixed up?
You got me mixed up, Sergio. Thank you. How did you do that? How did you make me confuse my point?
I guess because I don't understand your point. And then when I try to explain it back to you about what you said, it doesn't make sense because I still don't understand what I'm saying.
And now there is no point because I've lost track.
All right. Well, what's the next thing we're going to talk about? Was there any other questions you wanted to ask me?
What do you think about the subway scene?
The subway scene was cool. I like that one. Although I got confused on why it is the pillars suddenly just became like alive. Was that supposed to be like a representation of claustrophobia?
I think so. But honestly, I just thought it was really funny. Mainly because I know it's supposed to be very scary to see like this guy that's following you the whole time. Like, because the whole movie, this guy's following them. You're like, what's up with this guy? I think he's supposed to be like one of those like people on the subway that sell things to you. I think that's what the idea was. He didn't work for Eveline, so he just by himself doing this.
Yeah.
And even the music that accompanies him whenever he's on screen was killing me every single time it came up because it sounded like it's supposed to be scary, but also funny at the same time.
Which does not work.
I ain't too happy on the ground, y'all.
Oh my God. I want to have a good thing like that when I walk into a room. That's like some sneaking music. You know what I mean, Sergio?
Yeah. Were they supposed to introduce like Eveline earlier, like how they did in The Wizard of Oz? Because it felt like I understand what you're saying, and then all of a sudden, like all this stuff happens that gets in their way. It feels like isn't that supposed to be like the job of the evil witch or something?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like the reason why I thought was like I said before, the reason I thought the movie was gonna end like an hour into the movie when they meet Oz is because when they meet Oz, they're like, "Hi, I'm here. I want this and this." Well, I'm not going to do anything for you until you kill this lady for me. All right, thank you. Okay, cool, bye. And I'm like, wait, you're right. We didn't see the evil witch yet. So, like, we're going to go deal with that now. Then after that, we're going to go back and find out, like, he was a fraud. Like, it feel like it's doing the original story, but also adding things in or forgetting things and then bringing them in later.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's an authentic retelling, but also forgotten mistelling in a way.
Yeah.
This is an anomaly, and I kind of love it for that. There's only a few movies, Reggie, where its flaws make it seem like they make me appreciate it even more. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Because you,
I get it. I think.
Yeah, because you can't make a movie like this nowadays.
Well, no, because it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, and also it's such a piece of its time. Like it's a '70s movie about Harlem and the Wiz. I mean, Wizard of Oz. It's like it's such a part of its time with Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell, and Ted Ross, like, and Richard Pryor. Yeah, there's no one on that level nowadays to where it will make sense. And it's just like the era is like a character in the movie. It's sort of like a wine where the more it ages, the more what's the word, Sergio? Like the more
better.
the more, or not really better, more
Refined.
Yeah, more refined it is. Even though you see all the cracks and like seams on the wall, you still appreciate for what it is. Probably even more now because of all this, how long it's been there. It's like a time capsule into that time period. And I think that's why I also like watching old movies too, because nowadays everything's trying to be so real and authentic and CGI to make sure it all looks blends in together. But I kind of miss the movies where it doesn't see it fully blended into each other, like Beetlejuice in some way, where some of the effects look really good, some of them not so much. And it's the same idea for this movie too.
You mean you want more practical effects?
Not only practical effects, but more unique looking effects. Not everything needs to look so slick and realistic, or I want something that looks like it's been handmade. Not, yeah, actually, I guess more practical in a way. But like I said, the effects look weird in this movie sometimes, and sometimes it hinders a story, like with the Ease on Down the Road sequence, where it just stays on that one matte painting and them dancing with their backs. The painting looks really cool. I like it, but nothing's really happening on screen to where it pushing me to watch it during that song sequence. Like I love the song, I love the dancing, but that's mainly it. Nothing more appealing to see. It doesn't feel like a grand scale thing. Even with the song later at the Emerald City with the colors changing, it was really cool. It was really nice. I think that was one of the better shot sequences in the movie. But then again, majority of the song, it was a wide shot of everyone dancing in unison. You know what I mean, Sergio? Like the choreography is amazing, the dancing is great, the music's great. Everything's great except just the shots, because it doesn't feel so grand if it's so wide. I get what they're going for, but it can't all just be wide shots. Because if you compare it to a movie nowadays, like In the Heights, within the Heights, yes, they would have like still shots, but they'll have things going on in the background. Like there's a part in the song where in the opening song of In the Heights where one of the characters is looking through a window. You only see the screen in the window, but you also see the reflection of everyone on the street. And everyone on the street is dancing to the beat of the song while you just see a close-up of him talking. Does that make any sense? Like making your still shots look like they have a lot of life in them instead of just looking like it's a set where anyone could be dancing, where it's sort of not really that different from the Broadway musical where it's a still shot of everyone dancing. Does this make any sense?
I think so. But I think it's more just due to individual tastes. Like you like this kind of stuff. When things aren't seamless and perfect, where things are more rustic and practical.
Yeah. What do you think about all of this, man?
To me, when it impedes the story, it just feels like you're just watching like a music video where you're not really there for the visuals, you're there for the sounds. So then it gets me questioning why it is I'm watching the movie in the first place instead of just listening to the music.
Okay, that makes I get that. But then again, how do you hear these songs without the context of the movie?
To be honest, I don't know. I guess that's why I'm kind of confused about this, because the music is good, but then I think about how it is I would learn about this without the movie, and I'm like, it doesn't fit anywhere else besides the movie. So then I get thinking, how else could I know this if I didn't hear about the movie? But then the movie just, I guess the same thing as I said earlier, where everything just felt off because of the fact is like they stay like the numerous things you can notice about it. So I'm just like, I'm not sure.
Also, I want to mention that before we go to our ratings, I want to talk about the awards that this movie was nominated for. This movie was like nominated for 4 Oscars, for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, and Best Adaptation Score. And I think they're all well deserved, because even the sequence at the Emerald City where all the colors are changing, they have to change everyone's colors and different costumes to match the color scheme.
Wait, they changed colors? I thought it was just like that they just had like reflective they just had like either reflective clothing, like stuff that reflects the light, or that the lights were just so bright that it just covered everything they were wearing.
Most of them have reflective coloring or reflective clothes on, but majority of them have still solid colors.
To me, I guess it's just the fact is that they're all wearing just shiny stuff, that I thought they were just wearing like stuff that would reflect the light from everything around them, which is why I thought like they don't really changing costumes. They're just letting the light reflect off the silver coats and shoes and pants that makes the illusion that they are actually wearing that kind of color.
No, they're all wearing solid colors. Just wearing shiny. They're just shiny. That's why.
That explains why this scene went on for so long.
Yeah. Let's go into our ratings, Sergio. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You go first.
I love this movie. This is literally my first like I said, it's my first introduction to The Wizard of Oz in its entirety. I've had this on DVD since I was a baby, always watching it, didn't know what the hell was going on, but I still loved it. And to this day, I find more avenues and more reasons why I can appreciate it, even if there are things that are weird or make me question things, or even like say like, why did they choose that idea or that visual aspect? I embrace it. I'm like, wow, this is just visually amazing. And the music's awesome. The casting's awesome. Everything's really good in this movie besides like some of the shots, but I can live with that. I'm giving this movie a 4-star rating.
Are you saying that you like this movie so much because of nostalgia?
Not only because of nostalgia, but because I love everything around it. Like the set design, the acting, the music, the production, the choreography.
Okay.
Yeah. It just looks like all the money was on the screen and they did with the best with what they had.
I give this a 2 out of 5.
Go ahead, sir.
It was really hard for me to understand a lot of the stuff that was happening in the movie. I did get some of the stuff that was representing like stuff that happens in real life, and some of the aspects it was trying to give attention to, but I just have so many questions about it that I just don't know how to enjoy it, I guess.
All right. Okay, that's it, everyone. Have a cinematic day. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok at Brick Wall Cinema. Have a cinematic day.